We are told if a, b, and c are roots of the equation x cubed plus 7x squared plus 18x plus 16 equals 0, to find the value of 1 over 2a plus 1 over 2b plus 1 over 2c. So a, b, and c are the roots. So a can be r1, b can be r2, and c can be r3. It doesn't matter how we label it, but it'll help us here in a minute. Take note of what we did over here. We're trying to find the value of this, 1 over 2a plus 1 over 2b plus 1 over 2c. So we have taken the liberty to combine into one fraction. The common denominator would be 2 times a times b times c, and then we just add it all together in the numerator. Notice b and c multiplied together would give me, like I said, r2 and r3, if they're going to be the same thing. A we said is r1, c would be r3, so those are multiplied. A, B, we got r1 times r2, and then down here we got r1 times r2 times r3. Now, keep in mind, back, we've mentioned this in a few different videos, but if we were given the equation right here, we know that these numbers are found by either multiplying or adding or a combination of those of the different roots. So the constant term, the 16, is found by multiplying all three roots together. So that's what we have here, r1 times r2 times r3. We also know that this term right here with the x is going to be found by multiplying all the possible combinations of two roots together and then adding them together. So we have r1 paired with the r2, r1 paired with the r3, and then r2 paired with r3. Those are all the possible combinations of putting together the roots in groups of 2, and then we just add them together. So notice how that corresponds with what we're trying to find over here. r2 times r3 plus r1 times r3 plus r1 times r2. That corresponds with this right here. And then the roots multiplied together would correspond with the constant term. So just make sure you get the signs correctly. But this right here would be 18. And then also the roots multiplied together would be 16. The signs are determined based off of the order. So the first one would be a negative 7x squared. This would be positive, and then this would be a negative once again. So because this is going to be a negative right here, I guess it's easier to see right here, negative, positive, negative. Because this should be a negative and this is a positive 16, that we can conclude that these three roots multiplied together would have to be a negative 16. Okay, so we have, this would be positive 18, this would be negative 16. So I just substitute into what I have simplified, this fraction. 18 would be the numerator, 2 times negative 16 the denominator. I can simplify, and I'm going to get negative 9 over 16, and that is my final answer.